business owners and executives from around the Valley. This is Business Leaders with Lance Cardoza.
Good morning, and thank you for watching Business Leaders. My name is Lance Cardoza, and each and every week right here on KMPH Fox 26, I bring you a business leader throughout the Valley and abroad. In the beginning of Business Leaders, I had a young gentleman on my show, Isaiah Wilburn, and he's back, and we're talking about one of his leadership programs, his motivational speaking. You probably heard his story when he was working in the car business, also now in the mortgage business as well. Isaiah Wilburn, thank you for being on the show.
Yes.
Auto,
thank you.
Yeah, the Auto City.
Yes.
Right
Auto
here in
City.
Fresno.
Yes.
And you were working in the car business, learning a bunch of different things about how to deal with people and how to create the better mousetrap.
Yes.
as we do as salespeople.
Exactly.
And as you're doing that, you start developing more and more as a young entrepreneur.
Yes.
And very successful. And talk to me about where we were from the first time you were on my program, where we are today, because now develop a mortgage company, keep going, your leadership program. Talk to me about that. There's a big event coming up, and we'll talk about that. But let me know.
Yeah, so since last year, in the automotive business, I've really flourished further than past that. So I've taken the automotive to a new level. So that's just been incredible, growing a larger team. And I really went with just really shifting the perspective, really bringing customers a new experience. So building a team and building a larger company here in Fresno where we can really help shift the perspective. That led me to, I was previously at that time getting licensed to open up my mortgage team and become a mortgage broker. So I kind of did both of them. And I was like, you know what, do I want to do automotive? Do I want to do mortgages? Yeah. And I couldn't make the decision. So I said, you know what, let me just go ahead and do both. Yeah. So I went full force with both teams. And that's, it's been a challenge. You know, it's not easy. I've been busy, but it's been a blessing. And through all that navigating, Keep Going Enterprises, I had my first event, and at one point I thought it was going to be a one and done. And I said, you know what, I want to help lead and inspire people. So now we have Keep Going Enterprises holding the Keep Going conference, and we are just full throttle, foot on the pedal.
And when you look at it too, you were thinking about Auto City, doing what you're doing there in the car business, starting a mortgage business and your leadership business. But they all pretty much are the same. It's dealing with people. And when I talk about that better mousetrap, sometimes it's a better mousetrap for yourself to be able to present, to be able to help people.
Yes.
Because when they're buying a car, you're truly helping them make their decision. And buying a home or a mortgage, it's another big decision in their life. And leadership skills, big decision, forever changing. So you found that you had a love for all of them.
I did, and you know, with the car business, where it came from is I wanted to help people, and then I found myself in mortgages wanting to help people, and I was like, okay, I can really go somewhere with this, right? Because I didn't want to just choose between one. So I always say, like, I help people finance their two biggest decisions, right? Cars and houses. But outside of that, besides helping the clients that I'm meeting for cars and houses, I was like, how can I help people just in everyday life? How can I help the person who's just looking to keep going, who's looking for the motivation, inspiration? Because people reach out to me and they're like, hey, Isaiah, I see that you're selling cars and you're selling houses, you know, and that's all great. But what about just me? Like, I just need some motivation. Like, they're telling me, like, you're inspiring. I'm like, well, you can be inspiring, and I want to help inspire those people. So that's where that flourished, and I can honestly say that has been the most fulfilling. The cars was great, and the mortgage brokerage is great, but helping people just overall win everyday life is the greatest feeling, honestly.
So with Keep Going Enterprises, like you're saying, you're helping people find their it, probably. And a lot of people, sometimes that's what it is. They're trying to find it.
Yes.
What is it for me? And the excitement, they see you having it for yourself, and they want a piece of that. And a lot of people have a hard time trying to figure out what that is in their life. Who was it in your life, and we've probably talked about this in the past, but who was a pivoting person in your life that helped you find it? Because you're at a young age.
Yeah. You know, honestly, I look up to a lot of different people in the industry, in different car businesses, you know, just with my past employers and where I've worked at to where I'm at now. But the it factor for me came when I was little. So watching my mom work, you know, she's a correction officer, putting in 25 plus years in the department. I think she instilled like the small foundation in me when I was younger that it made me want to go and just get it, right? I see mom go to work early in the morning, 4:30, coming home in the afternoon. And so that was the fire that ignited in me where I said, you know what, I want to do something, and I've always wanted to work. And then throughout my automotive career, I started meeting different business leaders in automotive, different real estate gurus, and actually with the mortgage brokerage that I'm with now, my branch manager, Kim Rangel, she's incredible. She was that pivot moment for me, like that person I met in mortgage where I said, you know what, I want to go, because she really was after people, right? And I wanted to be after people. And then automotive, I would just have to say it kind of came collectively with the different people that I was meeting in the industry. So I like to say if somebody's looking to, for instance, change their life or they want to go after something, don't be afraid to try something. Don't be afraid of that failing factor, right? Because I had to try a lot of different scenarios before I found what was really going to work for me in automotive and what really worked for me in mortgage.
You fell several times to pick yourself up again.
100%. You know, when I got into the real estate industry, my first year was bumpy. It wasn't a walk in the park, you know, but I took that and I said, okay, I'm going to pivot. I'm going to become the broker. And then in automotive, I was doing the marketing and I was doing the financing and I was jumping from category to category. But where I found like I really strived and developed was in the operational side of things, where I can help people. I could kind of fill the gap in the business, right? So maybe we're looking for the gap in the customer service chain, or maybe we're looking for the gap in the finance. So I said, let me just take a step back and I can just pour into people and, you know, develop my team and then let them go and flourish. So when I took a step back, I can kind of go and fill in those gaps, and it just helped me take my management skills and executive skills to a whole nother level.
And it's funny, you saw your mom going through the grind.
Yes.
That a lot of people find themselves in, and they almost, they have to find that entrepreneur in a box and unpack it, because they have dreams and they want to do things, but it's beyond the dream. A lot of people say work within the box, you know, work outside the box, they say. But I always say work within the box, make your box bigger and bigger and bigger, and keep it organized. And like you did too, taking a step back. A lot of times the most incredible artists in the world that paint beautiful murals or pictures will tell you that sometimes you have to step back and look at it from a distance. And same with an entrepreneur, you got to step back and take a look at your art, so you can get the best product out there.
Exactly.
You know?
I like to say take a moment and breathe. Like just take a moment, reevaluate your goals, right? Because you can have the goals and the dreams and you can be chasing, but you kind of have to really visualize it. And I like to say write it down, see it all the way through. I took a moment for myself, honestly, and I sat down and I said, okay, this is how I want my life to look maybe 5 years from now. And in that 5-year window, things are going to change. Nothing's going to maybe be exactly, but I knew what the grand spectrum of things was going to be for me. And I knew that was around people. So the categories I kept on adding, okay, well, I know I do well in here, so let me add to it. And I know I do well here, let me add to it. But I think when you take that step back and you kind of take yourself outside the perspective and say, okay, what do I want this person to look like? Me as the main character in my life, how do I want it to look? And answer that question, and then you work towards those goals.
We'll be right back. Stay with us right here on Business Leaders. More to come. Welcome back to Business Leaders. My name is Lance Cardoza. If you'd like to catch this episode and other episodes of Business Leaders, go to businessleaders.tv. On the program, as I almost said Wilburn, I almost messed up your first name.
Let's just go right to the last name.
Yeah, Wilburn. Yeah, Isaiah Wilburn. And you've been on my program twice now. And I'm inspired by young people in business that have this drive to want to succeed and succeed at what excites them. And you're doing that for other people at a young age. And it's very inspiring for people that watch the program here, Business Leaders, to see a young mind out there that is the backbone of America.
Yes.
Truly is. Big companies were developed with these brilliant young minds that built big businesses. And you're helping many people in what you're doing, and I'm proud to have you on our show and talk about Auto City, talking about your mortgage company, and also your leadership event that's coming up. Talk to me about that event and when it is and what people have to look forward to.
Awesome. So the Keep Going event conference is coming on July 15th, so we're almost there. It's going to be in Visalia, California, and the conference is built around, when I first launched it, I was like, okay, business, mindset, you know, just the nitty gritty, like just business. I want people to come in and maybe change their business perspective and grow. And then it unfolded into motivation, inspiration. So what people can expect when they come is a full panel of speakers from all different types of areas in life and business, from small business owners to large business owners, from real estate to hair salons to automotive companies. But what they can expect is people sharing a story where they may have encountered a situation or a problem or a setback, like I like to say. That's where Keep Going came from. Keep Going comes from the idea that you're going to run into a problem, you're going to run into a wall, you're going to run into a situation. But what do you do in that moment? Where's your perspective? Where's your mindset? So Keep Going is for somebody, maybe you want to increase your business skills. Great, we can help you. Maybe you want to increase your marketing skills. Great, we can help you. Maybe you want to be a better communicator in sales. Great. But what I'm looking for people to come and experience is a fire, is something where they walk in one way and they leave another way, where it's not just, oh, this is a program. We're not selling anything. We're not pitching anything. When you walk in, I want everybody to leave a different way. Last year I said if one person's life has changed, it would all be worth it. And this year, we already have 100+ guests almost registered, and I want everybody that walks in to walk out inspired, and that's why I diverse the panel. I wanted the panel to be different speakers from different industries, all the way from Los Angeles to Manteca. So we have a wide audience of, the way that we're going to be covering from guests maybe 18 years old all the way up to, there's no limit. Very different. But the biggest thing is I want people to feel change. I want people to, maybe you're not in a down season, maybe you're on fire already. Maybe you're looking for that one golden nugget. I think it's going to be there. Actually, I know it's going to be there. But really, for that person who's trying to find where they're at in life, or maybe trying to figure out where they want to go, I think this is going to be a conference where you can come and ultimately change your life.
How do they find out information about the conference?
So the easiest way is to go to my website, IsaiahWilburn.com.
Okay.
My Instagram, Isaiah Wilburn. I have the bio everywhere. So IsaiahWilburn.com is the easiest way to find it. That's my personal website. They go there. There's a Keep Going tab. You click on it, and the conference is actually free. So I got a lot of backlash from my team on the whole free ticket thing. Oh, charge something. But I'm in a season where I want to just pour into people. And I think if I were to charge a ticket, then maybe somebody may be discouraged, well, maybe they're just trying to sell me something else. But I think that, hey, come and experience it, because I believe when you come and experience it, you're going to go and tell maybe 5 more people.
Exactly.
So on my website would be the easiest platform to go. You just go
there and register.
Yes, go there, register. There's a tab, click Keep Going, and it's going to take them right to the link and send you all the details on where to go and the event details and the time frame. And it's
perfect. And sometimes it's as simple as when people are a simple goal. Just simple things and simple solutions. And I remember it was Michael Gerber. You probably know the name, motivational speaker. And he wrote the book called The E-Myth. And a simple thing of, he asked everybody to put their feet under them. Solid. Put it down on the ground and see how your body feels right now. You know that feeling you're getting right now, and you're thinking about it. He goes, that's what we're going to do. We're going to get you solid. We're going to get you comfortable. Put your feet back on the ground, because a lot of times we're flying high, 100 miles an hour, and we're not hitting the target. We can't understand why. Sometimes we just need to reset. Put your feet back on the ground. That foundation. And it was simple, and I never forgot. And I know he'd be beaming if he heard me talking about it, because it was a simple solution in my life. When I felt that, I thought, sometimes I do need to reset. Just reset for a moment, get that foundation, and go back out and move forward. So that's what they can experience with your program and being able to go there. Give that website again so they can see that.
So it's IsaiahWilburn.com. So just ISAIAH and my last name Wilburn, WILBURN.com. If you see the clip, you'll find it, and it'll be there.
Perfect, and we'll have that below on the bottom of the the screen.
Awesome.
Talk to me about what the future is with Auto City. What you're doing with your mortgage company. And talk to me about that.
So when we dive into Auto City, when we all came together and I brought my ideas to the table. Usually you go to an executive board or you talk to the CEO and they're like, well, what is your idea to take the company to the next level? And when I'm pitching smaller profit margins, bigger volume, better customer experience, usually you're going to be told, you're maybe the wrong guy. But when I broke it down and I was like, you know what, I really want to be able to pour back into the customer and take of course we're a company, right? So we want to profit. But where can we shift the perspective with the automotive industry completely, where we kind of, we're not reinventing the wheel, but I would say we're maybe going to go around the ordinary. And so with Auto City, what we're looking to cultivate and what we are actually building is a customer experience, 100% customer experience. We're putting the customer back in the main focus. So what does that look like? That looks like a great deal, clear communication, transparency, a quality vehicle, because there is a stigma in the car business that when you're buying a pre-owned vehicle especially, that you may run into problems. But where can you come in, and not just when that car's in your driveway, right? Like not when you wake up the next morning, you know you're gonna have a solid vehicle, but how is it when you step foot into our company?
Yeah.
Well, when you step foot into our company, you're not going to be attacked. You know, we're going to
exactly. And you said that a stigma is there, and it truly is in any type of sales situation. But talk about that when we come back. The customer experience when you're buying a car, you're going to experience that when you go to Auto City. We'll be right back with more Business Leaders. Don't go away. Welcome back to Business Leaders. I'm sitting here talking to Isaiah Wilburn and from Auto City. Also has a mortgage company. We're talking about the conference, the leadership conference you have coming up, and we'll talk about that in a moment. But before the break, we were talking about the stigma around buying a car.
Yes.
Or even buying a home or buying anything.
Yes.
It's a daunting and scary experience for the customer. And a lot of times the customer has this perceived notion of they're going in to get beat up and they have a game plan. The husband and wife talk about how we're going to deal with this when they're there. And it's very stressful and the anxiety. But what you've done is created a customer experience forward for the customers. Talk to me a little more about that, how that process was, because to change the mindset of the employees is very different when they're so used to doing it the same way they've always done.
Absolutely. So that starts internally, right? So when we rolled out how we want to change the customer experience, we first had to look at ourselves and what we were doing. Where are the pain point for the customers? Where are we maybe hassling a little bit too much? Where are we maybe causing that uncomfortableness in the sales process because we're so used to doing what we're doing, so we go with the motion of, okay, this is how we do it. So with our sales team, we had to have that conversation of, this is the way we just interact, even if it's just a conversation. Let's just have a conversation. Let's try to change it from a sales process to a conversation. What are your needs? What are your wants? What's your why? Let's really discover. Let's not sell, let's discover. And I don't like to use the term close the customer. Why don't we build the relationship with the customer? Because they're already coming to buy the house, buy the car, buy something, but they have to find that middle ground in that transaction. But when you're just being a sales professional and you're just hounding, you're not letting them really tell you their stories. So when you slow down the process internally and we say, hey, let's just take a step back and let's really discover, let's fact find, because the consumer and the client's going to tell you exactly what they need, but what's the first approach in sales? Let's just go right after it. We want a win-win-win. Well, let's make it a win-win for everybody. Let's make it a win-win for the customer. Let's hear them out, and then let's explain our value add. And I believe with that together, you can really change the experience. And when they walk out of whatever transaction it is, they can say, hey, you know what? I feel good about what we did. You know, and the sales team can say, hey, I'm happy I sold my product, and the consumer's happy because they feel like they got a solidified deal and with real intention. And
they'll tell everybody about that. You know, it's a lot of times an upset customer is going to tell hundreds. A happy customer will tell 10 of their really good friends. And you want to continue to create that experience for that customer. And especially your business too, because it's not only buying a car that now could turn into a home sale. The home sale could turn into a car sale. And they all could come to the leadership conference to be able to better their skills. And so you're pretty excited about the conference. It's coming up. It's in July. It's right around the corner. Tell people if they didn't get it earlier, how do they register for it?
So IsaiahWilburn.com. So you go to my website, IsaiahWilburn.com. There's going to be a Keep Going tab there. You just click on it. It's going to tell you to register. As soon as you register, it's going to send you instructions and details. It's completely free, and it's going to be a great conference.
It's a no-brainer. It's free. You're going to go there and you're going to be able to have a great experience, just like they would if they were to go buy a car at Auto City. And with the lineup of people that you're going to have there for this conference, the Keep Going conference, Talk to me a little bit about that lineup again.
Yes.
Keep going, as a lot of times everybody gets knocked down.
Yes.
It's not all perfect in business or in life itself.
Exactly.
So it's about picking yourself up and moving
100%.
forward. Yeah.
Yes. So my first and my keynote speaker, Kim Rangel, she's a mortgage broker. She founded a company 20 years ago in the mortgage industry, and I have the pleasure of working alongside of her. So she's going to be sharing a story about how she built a very successful real estate business, a real estate company, and actually navigated through that as a single mother. What she went through in her life, maybe what she ran into, and she's going to share that inspiration that, hey, not only can you build a great business, but you can build a great life, because she says the business is not who she is, it's a part of what she does. And so her story is incredible. And then we have Asher J. Bell, who was going from part-time sales in real estate as well to 10 million plus in transactions and volume, and where he came from a rougher path to now he's just blowing up in that industry. We have another speaker, Misha Brooks. She owns a local salon in Tulare, California with she has quite a large team, and her story about how she actually lost her son and her husband in a tragic accident. So everybody's story is a little bit different, but they're all compelling to pushing the needle forward towards growth.
Yeah.
And so that's just a few speakers. We do have 2 or 3 more that are in the works. Of course, I'll be speaking. My speech is about mindset, transformation, and faith. Wow. So through changing your mind, you can transform, and through plugging that in and using that faith foundation, I believe that you can accomplish anything.
Your family must be extremely proud seeing what you're doing today.
Yes.
If you could go back when you were little and the advice maybe or what you saw in your mom, and you could tell your younger self something to look out for in life,
yes,
something to give yourself the leg up and the head start, what would you tell that person?
I would say don't get too wrapped around the setbacks, because nothing's going to be perfect. When you're chasing your dreams and you're building something, you're only looking at the wins and the opportunities, but you're going to face hard times, you're going to face situations. So I would say don't get too caught up in the moment on a setback or a problem or situation. Just figure out how you can navigate around it and understand it's temporary, and you have to go play for the long-term goal.
Perfect. I want to give that the information for your website one more time, because this is a free conference and this is a no-brainer. You're watching here on Business Leaders, and you can go to businessleaders.tv and get that information as well. But it's free, and all they have to do is go to your website.
Yes, my website, IsaiahWilburn.com. Just register there, the Keep Going tab, and just get plugged in. Get plugged in.
It's going to be a lot of really good information. You're going to meet some great people. And sometimes that connection that you can make, or like I did, experiencing putting my feet on the ground and just feeling solid in that foundation. Sometimes it's the little things in life that make a big difference. I appreciate your time. Thank you so much for being on the program, as always, Isaiah. And it's that time of the year, 40 Under 40. Go to 40.com and nominate a young person here in the Valley under the age of 40 that has a mover and shaker. I think we have one sitting here today. We'll see you next week. Thank you.